9:17 on the morning show. Third time's the charm. On the morning show with Jeff and Will on this fine Monday morning. A number 9 large.
Very, very Beatles-esque. Number 9, number 9, number 9.
Sure.
Revolution number 9. You never heard that song?
Oh, right. Anyway, Tina Traster's on the phone.
She
You
is.
completely threw me off. Congrats, Tina. I apologize. We had a great intro. I was teeing you up, and then Jeff had to go and completely
make it much better.
derail this situation here. But editor-in-chief over at the Rockland County Business Journal, Tina Traster. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, young man. Good morning. So I just wanted to give one more shout out to the Valley Cottage Library. The reception on Saturday was wonderful. Thank you to everybody from the community who came out to share this with us. And the exhibit, American Beauty, which is photography, remains up through the end of July. So great asset in our community. Just real shout out to the library. Now, moving on. So it looks like New City is on the cusp of a real residential growth spurt based on 3 projects that are now out there. You may recall that we have talked in the past about a redevelopment plan in New City that would combine some lots and add a residential tower at the what do you call it, in the Pacheco's shopping center along Main Street.
Right, where the movie theaters were, right?
Right, and in that instance, we're looking at a 152-unit luxury apartment complex. Down or up the road, down the road, depending on which direction you're looking in. At the ShopRite shopping center, there's also a redevelopment plan on the books, and that would include 140 residential units. Between these two, of about 300 units, there are only potentially about 7 affordable planned for the Pacheco's project. What's made these projects possible to even come online to be proposed was a zone change that introduced residential units along North and South Main Street, and is apparently spurring the redevelopment that the comprehensive plan reflected that the Clarkstown wants to see. Now, another thing to kind of add to the mix, and a little bit different because this would in fact require a new zone change, is up at the Paramount Country Club, where the owners of the Paramount Country Club are proposing a 247-unit housing development adjacent to the golf course up there. Now, we reported this back in 2021. The Paramount Country Club had originally floated the concept of building 200 townhomes and 5 single-family houses on 36 acres of vacant land that it owns adjacent to the golf course and country club. That plan then and now would have required and still would require a zoning permit to permit residential development. Back in 2021, it never went anywhere. But now the Mandelbaum family, which owns the Paramount Country Club and Golf Course, they have reinvigorated this proposal, so much so they're doing a lot of community, I guess outreach might be the right word, where they have a website up and they're trying to kind of take the temperature. They've been meeting with public officials at every level, town and county, to see if this is the sort of thing that's going to fly. The thinking, behind the 2 other developments that I started talking about is kind of the same here in that it's luxury housing, it's downsized housing, it's aging in place housing, it's millennial and or empty nester kind of housing. So, for example, Paramount. It's interesting that both Paramount and I think it was the one of the other two developments both evoked the idea of them being Florida style. Lots of amenity chock kind of residential housing that would appeal to older, possibly retired demographic. That's what the golf course is looking at. The total mix is 128 townhouses, 84 condos, 33 single-family golf villas, and 2 single-family lots. So, and that would add 531 parking spaces to the vacant land now. The proposal has not gone yet to TAC. That's the Technical Advisory Committee. So it hasn't started down the track of approvals and to see what it's going to need to do. But as I said before, they have, and if you look at the story, they have put up a website on the proposed plan. So they're definitely trying to move forward now on this. They say that they have met with Supervisor George Holman, town officials, engineers, planners, county executive, county official planning officials, and so I guess they're really kind of doing their homework. Sometimes a developer will come into the county and just assume that they're going to be able to, kind of push a project through, especially where it might need a zone change. And this is kind of an interesting approach to try to warm up the community to the idea or put the feelers out and kind of see what the response is going to be. That remains to be seen. The zone change for the residential portion of the parcel is needed because most of the parcel is what's called R160 zone land, and that only allows for a single family house per 4 acres. So allowing this sort of dense housing on R60 would definitely set a precedent to the town's R60 conservation land. So instead, the applicant has to persuade the town to change the zoning for that site rather than open up the possibility of having any R160 zone land be subject to that kind of dense housing or development. So this is, it's interesting to see that, as I said, that New City is kind of at this, is potentially about to have a growth spurt. I think all told, that would add, what did I say, 300 plus, that would add almost 600 units to the city, to New City, the hamlet, which, I guess it depends on the perspective. There's been a lot of response to this proposal on Facebook. That's one forum to see feedback. The developer says that there's a lot of enthusiasm for this project. So we shall see what this looks like once it starts down the track of town approval. Any questions so far?
No, I'm just curious what you think was their chances of success. Any of these projects, and when we could see shovels in the dirt.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I think with regard to the two redevelopment projects in downtown, in the shopping centers, I think that if Clarkstown really wants to be true to its mission and its goals to create housing, those two seem, they're viable because this is already developed land. There has to be consideration for the flow of traffic and greater density, but I think that those kinds of infill projects where you're already developing, where land is developed, I think that those make sense. I think that there's still a lot of question about why there's never an affordable housing component of this, and I think there's a lot of consternation about that. The golf course project is kind of an entirely different thing. It is it is taking away open space, unused, but nevertheless it is open space, and putting the kind of luxury development that this developer says is not really seen here in Rockland County. It's more of a feature that you'd find in Westchester and Bergen counties. I think that's true. I don't know that we have any Gulf side housing here that I can think of off the bat. Maybe down in Orangetown, Pearl River. Yeah, I mean, conceptually, this is something that happens in wealthy suburbs. Is it feasible here in Rockland County? I don't know. I think it will depend on how it plays out in terms of environmental impact and whether there's kind of acceptance for it in the community. Because in this case, they have a much higher bar to get over in that they need a zone change. And as you can see from the reporting that we do in all the towns, when there's a zone change needed, the discussion becomes much lengthier, much deeper. There's much more to consider. So I think that, I certainly think it makes sense to put housing where you've got a concentration of retail and activity. I think that the constant and ongoing discussion of, where is the affordable housing in the town really should remain an issue that's top of mind. I know that's a concern for people. I certainly see that in the feedback on social media. All told, these are three quite, substantial developments, and I think that they do stand to somewhat change up the equation in Clarkstown along Main Street, north and south.
All right, thank you, Tina. We appreciate that update so much. We'll talk to you again next Monday. Go to rcbizjournal.com, sign up for newsletters, and if you get a chance, go visit the display that's over there at the Valley Cottage Library. Much appreciated. Tina, have yourself a great week.
Have a great week, you guys.